So it looked like Caitlin Clark is adding another job to her resume. This time it's been a children's author. Now we know the WNBA star has many lists of talents and different jobs that she has been doing over the years. But this one, to me, and this is my own personal opinion, this one takes the cake more than any.
Caitlin Clark has just added an unexpected new chapter to her resume, and it might be her most impactful move yet off the court. This isn't just another endorsement or a flashy Nike campaign. It's something deeper, something that could shape the next generation and leave a legacy far beyond basketball.
This profound story right here that has just been released early this morning. It states WNBA star Caitlin Clark to publish a children's book on her life. Damn, that's major key alert, hotter than fish grease. You know, a lot of people been trying to take all those slogans, man. They steal our backgrounds. Now they're trying to take our slogans. God damn.
Random House Books for Young Readers made it official Tuesday morning. The Extraordinary, a little extra to reach big dreams, is set to hit shelves on November 3rd, 2024. This isn't some ghost-written celebrity cash-in. Caitlin Clark is personally crafting the story, a rhyming picture book inspired by her own journey. It's aimed at young readers who need a real reminder that big dreams are within reach. And the timing? It's more important than it might seem at first glance.
First, the WNBA star shares a message about the importance of the effort and support. Caitlin Clark, whose book features illustrations by Adriana Pedro, was inspired by inscriptions above the mirror that hung in her childhood bedroom. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is the little extra. And I feel like we all could relate to that in some shape, form, or fashion in our life. You know, that's a good quote. Ordinary and extraordinary. The difference between...
First, the format itself. Picture books written in rhyming verse are deceptively hard to execute well. Publishers reject thousands every year because it takes more than a story idea. You need rhythm, flow, clarity, and emotional impact all working together at once. Caitlin Clark is teaming up with illustrator Adriana Porto to build something visually rich and intentionally inclusive, designed to reflect a wide range of young readers. What really stands out, though, is the message behind it. In the official statement, Clark emphasized that while basketball has opened incredible doors for her, what has meant the most is the people who supported her along the way. That choice is intentional. The book isn't built around her stats, records, or highlight moments. Instead, it shifts the focus away from personal achievement and towards support, community, and the idea that success is rarely a solo journey.
The article goes on to say, basketball has given me so many incredible opportunities, but what has always meant the most to me are the people who've supported me along the way. Caitlin Clark said in a statement, I hope this book reminds kids that they're never alone in chasing their dreams, and that giving a little extra to people and moments is what make them extraordinary. And guys, I don't know, I'm getting a little...
The book centers on a simple but powerful idea, going a little extra. Not burning yourself out, not sacrificing everything, but consistently putting in just a bit more effort than what's expected. That mindset actually lines up with how Caitlin Clark developed her game. At Iowa, she wasn't always the most athletic player on the floor. She didn't rely on elite size or pure speed compared to other guards. What separated her was an intense focus on detail and a habit of getting extra reps in long after others had stopped working. Then there's the timing and positioning. A November 3rd release puts the book right at the start of the holiday shopping season. When parents are actively looking for meaningful gifts, teachers are searching for growth mindset material, and youth coaches want tools to motivate their teams as seasons wind down. Random House Books for Young Readers clearly understands that overlap, launching the book at a moment when inspiration-based, kid-friendly content naturally gets the most attention.
He credited with raising the profile of women basketball, returned to action recently after injuries limited her to just 13 games. And we know ultimately Caitlin Clark had 7 points in her last bout, but to me, it wasn't about her just scoring 7 points. It was about Caitlin Clark being able to still be extraordinary through it all. You know, even though she only played like 18 minutes, to me, I feel like it was just her will to keep balling.
To understand why this book deal is happening now, it helps to look at where Caitlin Clark is in her career. She's been dealing with an injury-hit stretch that limited her to just 13 games. And in her most recent outing, she finished with 7 points in 18 minutes. Numbers that fall well below her usual production and MVP-level expectations. But her reaction to that performance says more than the box score. Rather than focusing on stats, she talked about showing up for her teammates, staying engaged, and continuing to give maximum effort even when her body wasn't fully cooperating. That same mindset carries directly into her children's book. The emphasis on consistency, effort, and going a little extra mirrors how she describes handling adversity on the court. The alignment between what she says publicly and what the book promotes suggests this isn't just branding. It reflects a belief system she actively applies to her own career.
Illustrated by Adriana Purdue, hopefully I said that right. And this is dope. We got the little black kids down there. Caitlin Clark. This is just a dope thing, man. I'm on 4 kids. I got 4 kids of my own. And when I'm not making videos, I instill a lot in my kids. My son got an invite to Yale last week, which is major for him. It's just so much stuff that happens, at least in my life behind the scenes. You know, I recently said this to somebody because they kind of pissed me off and they try to throw shade whenever my views was down. And, you know, see, we popping in real life. You feel me? So, like, we don't have to buy views. We don't have to.
The Indiana Fever roster Caitlin Clark is playing with right now might be the most complete group she's ever been part of, even stronger, in some ways, than her Iowa teams. That's a bold claim, but the balance of this roster makes the case. Offensively, they now have multiple genuine scoring options. Defensively, they've improved from the early stretches of Clark's rookie year, when gaps and mismatches were easier to exploit. The chemistry between Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, and Aaliyah Boston has grown into something far more cohesive and dangerous. Add in the development of Grace Berger, the floor spacing provided by Lexi Hull, and the athletic versatility of Nalissa Smith, and suddenly this isn't a one-player system anymore. Clark no longer has to carry the entire scoring load or force 30-point nights just to keep her team competitive. She can control tempo, pick her moments, and rely on teammates to finish plays. That's a very different dynamic compared to Iowa, where the offense often depended heavily on her shot creation.